Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Journal series after quite a long while of not uploading. This is the first one on our new schedule, and as you can see, it is the first day of the Cresselia vs. Darkrai event, Monday morning. We'll sync up with the Go++ here real quick for my session last night. You'll get to see where I was last week, what I've been doing. One of my new catches, because honestly, last week there really wasn't much to really talk about. You know what? I'll just review this sleep session now. We'll get into the transferring of islands right after this, but I didn't really catch that many notable things, but there was one thing I do want to show off. So, one Pokemon that I think is notable enough to mention. But anyway, lots of slumbering sleep, it looks like. I think that's going to be a slumbering session. It is, in fact, alright. My plans have kind of shifted from the last time I recorded, because before I was kind of planning on doing some cheeky island rollover stuff to do well at top. Was kind of a plot of mine eventually. But now, you can see we're at Lapis Lakeside. And there is not really much to catch here. Unless that Wartortle turns up hungry, because I would like to have a good Blastoise, and I currently don't have one. So, I have a decent Beware. Well, it's actually not that great of a Beware until level 75, but it's okay until then. And I don't really have that high of a need for Corn Farmer, so I'm fine waiting for it. Especially because the one that I have has Berry Finding S, which makes it have less opportunity cost to run. Quaxley, don't really care. Well, the only thing here that I'm really interested in is the Wartortle, but I don't have the biscuits to be spending on evolved Pokemon without them being hungry. So then I think the next priority... We already have a phenomenal Quackable. We're not pivoting away from him. I guess... I don't have a Flying Berry specialist in the duo. Which I don't really need a Flying Berry specialist. I have good options for Cyan already. And it's not like Flying Berries particularly work well with Berry Burst, because they're actually the weakest berry in the game. So I don't really have a purpose for that either. I don't really need anything here this morning. Aside from maybe the Wartortle. So... Maybe I just... You know what? I'll just chuck my Daily Biscuit at the Wartortle. Maybe it'll crit, maybe it won't. Okay, it doesn't. We'll leave him at 4 pips gained already. And next time we see him, we'll feed him a bit more. We'll also feed the Quaxley a biscuit, just in case it mega hits. Maybe take it home. If not, we get extra value out of the biscuit. That's alright. We're not going to try to catch him, though. Save our biscuits. So no catches this morning. Kind of anticlimactic. Neroli, as always, will tell us we're making serious strides. Yeah, we'll send out Quaxley Candy. I feel like it's significant enough in the meta that it supersedes the need for Beware Candy as an island exclusive, therefore being rarer. I could be wrong, though. Sorry if you're in my friends list and you want Beware Candy. Okay, so, Cresselia vs. Darkrai. We knew this was happening. So we have to choose our next research site. I'm sure Neroli will have some custom dialogue or something. I've seen some of the screens, and dude, this looks dope. This whole event just looks dope. But, 70% island bonus. That is very important. I was at 60% last you saw I left off. And then I was at Old Gold Power Plant. I actually used an easy travel ticket because my plans shifted quite a bit. I used an easy travel ticket right at the end of the week, which I actually have a video of. I'll probably post it as a short or something later. Right while my account was sleeping, I have my Go++ active as doing my sleep session on Sunday night, but then I used an easy travel ticket after my Go++ had already activated to move to Lapis Lakeside so that I would get island bonus here, which means I'm actually still currently locked out of top. And you know what? I'll show it. It is time to say goodbye to Snorlax. Take care, Snorlax. But yeah. my top and Greengrass Island bonus are both currently at 74%, which means I can't go there. I am locked out of those 2 islands for this week. Otherwise, I waste my island bonus. So, that is something we don't want to be doing. Oh yeah, my sleep kind of sucked this week. Well, consistency sucked. It actually was a lot better than usual. Okay, what's Neurally telling us? Rise and shine. I've got a special research request for you today. Oh, this purple looks so cool. There have been reports of Pokemon on Greengrass Isle being tormented. Interesting that it just says on Greengrass Isle that have been tormented by nightmares since the event is everywhere. Upon investigation, I found that the mythical Pokemon Darkrai's power was the reason. Okay. Its power to induce nightmares is very strong, but it seems Darkrai doesn't mean any harm. So they are establishing that it's not evil. Also, Cresselia, Pokemon said to bring joyful dreams, can dispel nightmares. If Snorlax's drowsy power and Cresselia's power were to combine, we should be able to dispel Darkrai's nightmares. How wonderful. So I want you to work with researchers around the world to accumulate drowsy power. By sleeping alongside Cresselia, we can grow that power even bigger. So, let's conduct research with Cresselia to keep Darkrai's power at bay. Okay, so, yeah, man, I really just love this, like, dark aura. I kind of wonder if they're going to make this, like, lighten up as we advance throughout the event, as the nightmares start going away. I think that'd be kind of neat, but my plans. So, like I said, if I was to go to Greengrass this week, I'm at 74% area bonus. That would be a waste of 4% area bonus unless I use an easy travel ticket to transfer away. If I was to go to top, the same thing would be the case. So I should have stayed at Old Gold Power Plant to manage my area bonus better, transferring around, and then I wouldn't have to waste an easy travel ticket. So why on earth did I go to Lapis Lakeside last week? Why did I use my easy travel ticket to go to Lapis Lakeside, seemingly be a waste, and then not do well that way? Well, that is because my goals have shifted. Originally, my goals were just to catch Cresselia, everybody else's goals, but now I've got a new plan. And that really comes down to, with 70% island bonus, this is what my week 1 looks like. I've plotted 3 separate teams, and you'll see I posted a picture of my ingredient list in the Discord. Because some of you guys were kind of asking my plans and stuff, and like, oh, can give us teasers and whatnot. And I posted a picture of my ingredient list and said that I was at Lapis Lakeside. I think were the 2 things that I said that week. And shout out to one of you guys, Chewy, did like a huge deep dive analyzing all of it and got pretty much my goals almost exactly what it was supposed to be. Didn't say necessarily what my goal has shifted to, but got my plans right for the Cresselia versus Darkrai event. So shout out there. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But I prepped an ingredient list of 3 separate things for curries, salads, and desserts. Now, what's interesting is my plans for salads and curries week 1 are actually a little bit weaker than just if I just do my strongest berry Pokemon and don't care about the meal. However, this also assumes that my meals remain at the same level they currently are, and I'd like to level them up a little bit, because clearly I have decent teams for this. I can level these teams up a little bit more. It also assumes the Mr. Mime stays at level 30, which realistically, we'll try to get him higher level. Maybe I'll try to push him to level 50. Oh, whoops, that's my alarm. Give me a moment. My watch is charging, and so I took it off. And I woke up before my alarm today, so sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so it assumes that Mr. Mime stays at level 30. Oop, bumped my desk. Okay. It assumes Mr. Mime will stay at level 30. It assumes my meal will remain at level 13 if I go for salads, or 19 for desserts, or curries. So both of these teams seem weaker than the berry-based line of just running my strongest berry specialist and not caring about meals. However, I assume that as the week goes on, they'll get better, and even if they don't, having those meals leveled for long-term goals, I think, is a better idea. And if we roll desserts, then we do really well, because I have just a cracked team for desserts. So I prepped a good ingredient list for that. Now, week 2, what is my plan? This all comes down to week 2, and if you know me, one of my biggest goals is to do well, master 20 every island. So, week 2, I think I can master 20 Lapis Lakeside. Now, you can see here it only says master 19. Why does that matter? Why did I choose Lapis Lakeside? Well, if I swap to Lapis Lakeside that 1 week, get 5% island bonus, then I'm at 65%. Last week, I went to Lapis Lakeside again, got to 70%. This week, week 1 of Cresselia event, it'll go up 5 more percent. And with 75% island bonus, we actually can get Master 20 if I have this ingredient list. Now, where do these apples come from? Where does this ginger come from? Where do these leeks come from? Well, if you pay close attention to the ingredient list that I posted, which is what I actually ended up getting, I have this exact ingredient list in my bag right now. I have the leeks already, and I have the coffee already. That is accounted for. But then, with all 3 of these teams that I prepped, all of them make... so the other things that I need are a few apples, a few ginger, and then also a little bit of milk to get this ingredient list to reliably make the Zing Zap Cola for week 2. I'm actually going to be building up the apples and the ginger during this week because I've made sure that these teams produce enough apples and or ginger that across the course of week 1, all 3 of them should get me to that goal for the apples and the ginger count. So, I've looked forward and plotted not 1 ingredient list, but 2 ingredient lists. 1 for week 1 and 1 for week 2, and then had to keep this coffee count in there and the leeks. Because as of right now, you can see we have 40 leeks and 252 coffee. We only need to build up that ginger and those apples, and a little bit of milk as well, which Espeon on all 3 of the teams produces the milk. And then the Raichus make the apples or the ginger, or in these guys' case, just the Gardevoir and the Raichu produces the apples and the ginger over time. And also, Nightcap Pika produces a little bit on the side. So, that is the goal. Produce the apples over the course of this week, and then get to Master 20 week 2. Get another island finish, get another main skill seed. I've been on a main skill seed drought for a while. I have so many Pokemon that could use them. And if we catch a good Cresselia, that's only going to be exacerbated even further. So, that is one of the reasons why it's our goal. Additionally, I like to master 20 islands. So, it's going to put us in a weird place because then we'll have master 20 on this account. Greengrass, Cyan, because I did both of those before I started making YouTube videos. And then since I started making videos, I'll have done Old Gold Power Plant, and then Lapis Lakeside. The only islands we'll be missing are Snowdrop and Top. I'll have done the 2 earliest islands and the 2 latest islands, but not touch the middle, which I think is kind of funny. So, we have to go to Lapis this week to follow my plan. And Lapis is not a bad decision, as I talked about in my Cresselia event planning and event guide video of where is best to go. Lapis is a safe bet. I don't think anyone is making the wrong decision by going to Lapis unless they have 0 island bonus there, like a really low island bonus. So, here's where we're going. We're going to Lapis. To get to the... Oh, and then, also, it solves the problem of the island rollover locking me out of Top and Greengrass, because after we go to Lapis week 2, it will be the island with 75% island bonus. That rollover will then hit Top and Greengrass, so that will be maxed there. The only islands we won't be maxed at after that point, so in one fell swoop we'll max out like 3 of the islands in island bonus, and then we'll be able to go to those freely. The only ones we'll be missing are Cyan and Snowdrop. We rolled Psychic, Dark, and Bug. Now, this is interesting because I did very carefully attune these teams, but I am willing to do something different if I find something stronger that uses the favored berries that I have. I don't have a very good dark berry specialist though. So, I don't think I'm gonna, and I don't have a good Butterfree. My Vikavolt has Berry Finding S, but there's no way I'm making any of the coffee meals this week. And yes, that is another thing I want to show off. I'll talk about that. Also, I did a bit of a berry bomb. We'll get to that soon. We'll tap the... Oh my goodness, Espeon, you failed me. Whoa, I love some of these effects. These things are cool. But anyway. The changes in my bag. I'll show you guys the Pokemon that I caught. There's one that I want to show off. It's overall not that exciting, but... Like in Night 2, I caught a shiny Riolu. Let's find him. Here he is. This was the one interesting thing that I caught last week. Shiny Riolu. I woke up to a shiny and was like, man, shinies make the best content. But this one was kind of meh, because I already have shiny Riolu in my account. I've had this guy for some time. He's not that great. He does have helping bonus and skill trigger M, but he's got a speed of help down nature, so like... And Lucario's not that great in this game anyway, so... I was like, whatever. This new one I caught also has pretty bad stats. Worse than the first one. Interestingly, I think they both have bold nature, which is kind of funny. So, they're oddly tied together there. But, we caught another shiny Riolu. Woo! So, we could have shiny Riolu and shiny Lucario at the same time if I took the time to raise one of them. But then, also notably, an improvement for my account, and I posted this one in the Discord. My Vikavolt, first off, I've named him Jack now because this was a suggestion a while back by I think Iben Brown, just because he's kind of a jack of all trades. He's got Ingredient Fighting Up Nature, eventually Ingredient Fighting M, there will be M. It's got more skill trigger later on, it's got skill level up, it's got Helping Speed and Berry Fighting S. He's got stats for pretty much everything, but still does well at the ingredient fighting that he is. But I got him to level 60, which means he's doing pretty well for berries, as well as for the coffee ingredients. So, that's another improvement that we had in the downtime. And I think those were the only real two notable things on this account that were worth mentioning. Now, let's see. Let's do this berry bomb. Or should I make my meal? So, we're intending on making salads this week. It is salads this week, and the meal that we prepped for salads with this multi-meal ingredient list was the green grass salad, which is, I think the salads was actually the weakest of the three options. I think of all of them, let's see. Yeah, salads only turns up like 2.9, basically 3 million, compared to 3 million with curries. Curries was a little weaker, actually, versus desserts were by far the best. I would have much rather rolled that, but I guess we're doing this. So let's make the meal first, because I want to have the space in the ingredients bag to hold the ingredients that's in the berry bomb, because that's... Oh, wait a minute, before I do this, I forgot to use a good camp ticket last night, so we'll use that right now, which I do have 2 held. Good camp ticket's active. Now we'll make that breakfast. It's technically optimal to use a good camp ticket the night before and like pretty late at night, but okay. How do we make green grass salad again? It's not one that I talk about all that much. Oh, was it? It was green grass salad, right? Was it? Yeah. Yeah, it was. Okay. So wanted to double check on that. So 21 oil. No, 22 oil. Oh, whoops. 22 oil, 17 corn, 14 tomatoes, and then 9 potatoes. Green grass salad being made. And now we can use all the things that weren't a part of this meal that aren't coffee or leeks, because we need coffee and leeks for the week after, to make the second part. I did save over a few Slowpoke tails. I actually changed on my ingredient prep list. You'll see in the image that I posted, I put 10 apples in there. That actually got replaced with 10 Slowpoke tails. I didn't really need the apples. They're more just like for a little more security on desserts specifically. Or one of the other meal types. I forgot which one. So I don't necessarily need them. So then I got some tails from like Blastoise procs while I was building up Cacao, and I was like, extra strength right away. Might as well use them. So I think cacao is our best filler with how much we have stockpiled. So this will be what we do. And then we'll make the meal. We're not expecting extra tasty or anything. We're just making the meal casually. It's what I expect most of the time. I didn't run to Denna or anything like that. But see, it's already going to level up a couple times, which should make our week even stronger than we had prepped for. To level 18 after just one meal. I wish the calculator kind of accounted for that like if you tell it I'm making this meal reliably over the course of a week, then it automatically like levels it up for you. But oh well. This works either way. But yeah, now we're already predicted to surpass 3 million, which I still think is fairly reasonable. It's still a good strength. I'm not doing as good as I could do week 1, but still doing pretty well. Okay, now let's do this berry bomb that I've prepped. Oh man, Gardevoir starting it off rough without a proc. I swapped off the Entei and the Arcanine last night, just so that I could potentially get skill procs on these guys. However, they seem to have failed me. But these are the 3 that I was building the Berry Bomb on. So, yeah, pretty decent Berry Bomb that I built up here. We'll activate them all. This should start us off with a decent amount of strength, even if none of them match favored berry. I really didn't want to reroll because we need the tickets week 2 for rerolling week 2. And oh my goodness, wow, we still have some apples left over. Okay. Well then, what missions have we already succeeded on? Getting Snorlax to basic 2. We're already getting some Cresselia down. I'm also not that interested in the bundles. I've been kind of saving my diamonds. However, I do think there is one bundle that I will purchase, just because there's a good camp ticket at the M, and I have the diamonds for it, to still potentially purchase more reroll tickets if I need them. So, Cresselia Research Bundle Volume M. Great Biscuits are also great. And then extra down is nice. 30 Cresselia candy. If I catch a good Cresselia, that's good. So yeah, we'll get that. Just because good camp tickets are always something that will eventually be useful. So if I need more easy travel tickets, I still have some diamonds to spare. I am getting week 2. We are going to be we are going to be getting Master 20. If it's the last thing I do. Okay, now we need to rotate the team around, which unfortunately doesn't have this Raichu with all the apples on it. I guess some apples get wasted. Oh, well. Well, could I sell any apples? This is stupid. Why am I... No, I'm not going to worry about it. We're just going to change the team to what I want it to be. So, the intended team for salads was Mr. Mime, Luxray, Raichu, and this is the Zumichu, not the Gigachu, interestingly enough. So we'll swap them around. I like to format it so that healer's in the back. I didn't do it that way before, but we'll swap these guys around. Wait a minute. Okay. Espeon. Then we just need Mr. Mime, who I guess I'll use all my candies on to level him up as much as I can, because him having favored berry this week, that's pretty good. And then Luxray, which I am happy to see the Luxray get some usage there. I do need to energy pillow it looks like. Cool. I guess I put it in the box at a lower energy than I thought, so... It's 52. We used a lot of candies over the course of the Psychic event to level that a bit. But we'll also level up this Mime, which, like I said, our calculation assumed Mr. Mime was level 30. He's a little bit better than that, because he'll be level 36, it looks like, in reality. There we go. Our Mime is a little higher level now. And he'll be producing our potatoes and tomatoes for the green grass salad. And way overproducing, because look at this, plus 59, plus 42. That extra ingredient is kind of insane. We'll probably be using a lot of tomatoes and potatoes for filler. That's right, we also get a free Cresselia biscuit to kick off the event. And then we'll collect our daily research from our friends. Thank you, friends. Any down for me this time? Hey, would you look at that? A lot of down. Man, this feels like more than it typically always was. I guess this is for 49 friends, though. So, I think they said the average in past events was about 30. So, to get 20 is actually a little bit concerning if I have a full thing of 49. However, some of those might have been Sunday night researches, which may not necessarily be contributing towards that because they weren't on the same day. So, it's not that concerning. But anyway, I think we'll also spend a little bit more to get another Cresselia biscuit. Now, today's also the last day of the month, so tomorrow we could buy another main skill seed, which, if I do that, I think it'll go into a, I think I'll put it straight into my Espeon. Interestingly enough, we actually could buy, with the down that I got from the bundle, I could buy a Cresselia biscuit. I'd have 2 active. I'd have 2 ready to go, and I could run a Cresselia incense night 1, which might be worth it. It runs a risk of if it eats more than 2 biscuits, then I don't get to use a 3rd Cresselia biscuit on it because I only have 2. And there's no way I'm going to get... Well, actually, wait, what are the missions? I might be able to get 60 before bedtime. Can I get to Ultra 1 before then? I'm not sure. There's no way I'm getting these last 3 before bedtime. So, maximum I get is 65 more if I get to Ultra 5 or Ultra 4. How much is Ultra 4? How high of level is Ultra 4? Do I think I can get a 500,000 Snorlax strength before bed? I didn't look at how strong our meal was. We're making 2 more of that meal. Well, 65k is where we're currently sitting. So, probably like an additional... Probably like 50k a meal if I had to guesstimate. You guys will know because you can always just skip back to see in the recording how much it was. But do I think I can get that high off of berries? Well, let's see. Wait. Let's see how far our berries get us. I'm not waiting for him to eat 500 berries, so... Little quick tip here. If you start a sleep session and end it immediately, Snorlax will eat all the berries. That's 100k. Maybe I'll just wait to purchase. If I can purchase another Cresselia biscuit before bed, I'll definitely do it. Yeah, if I can purchase it before bedtime, then I'll definitely purchase another biscuit. But as it stands, I think I don't want to run a Cresselia incense until I have at least 3 biscuits, because I don't want it to turn up and not be able, and if it eats more than 2 biscuits, I don't want to be able to not be able to feed it the 3rd biscuit. If it's still hungry after 3 biscuits, then alright, I'll feed it my daily, I'll feed it maybe a great biscuit, whatever turns out to be, probably great biscuits, just because of the math with feeding to 30 pips. But we'll see. I have a lot of great biscuits now. We met some sort of mission. A weekly mission? Oh, get into the great 2. Cool. But yeah, we gotta get to 500,000 Snorlax strength before bed to be able to do that. So I'm a little concerned about. So we'll see. We'll see. Alrighty, well, that's my plans for the Cresselia vs. Darkrai event. I think I have shown off my account pretty well. I've done a lot of prep work, a lot of planning, lots of thought line going into it, and we're going to use some Pokemon that I haven't used as much on this account, like the Luxray and Mr. Mime, which I'm happy to do so, because I thought I wasn't going to get to use Mr. Mime, despite him being boosted for this event, but I turned out to be wrong, so we get to use that fun skill. Oh, and the plan, if you're concerned, yes, I'm aware of Cresselia. In fact, actually, I might be able to swap this guy off for Cresselia when I catch a first Cresselia, because this one produces ginger. It's the one to make ginger for the next week. If Gardevoir can produce enough apples along with Nightcap, then I may be willing to swap it off just for that 1.2 times. If not, then instead what I do is I just run Cresselia right before sinking the Go++. I still get the 1.2 times boost without running it on the team. That is the other plan. So, unfortunately, this one has an energy recovery down nature that's going to be much more difficult to manage, but I feel like with the 1.5 times boost to skill triggers on Gardevoir, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Energy should be fine. I'm not worried about energy during this week. Anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, especially for coming back. It's good to be back. Down in the description, we'll have a link to the Discord. Come join us, hang out, talk about all things Pokemon, Sleep, and the like. We also have the join button is now an optional thing there. If you want to click it, click it. If you want to support the channel, if you're not financially able, please do not do it. I'm not paywalling any content or really even offering that many rewards for doing so. So it's just there if you want to support me for what I'm doing. So yeah, as always, I thank you all for watching and hope that you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.